the majority of people who say, I want to be a musician, they have the feeling, the underlying sense that there's something to it. Something to music as being a form of art, and art being pure personal expression, noting the true beauties of life, and being the vessel that shows other people that beauty. They get the underlying feeling that there's something important, but they don't know what it is. They don't understand that part. And I think these people got it. You know, Beatles and Brian Wilson and Bob Dylan. And these are just these are just the famous people. These are just the white people. You know, we're completely skipping over jazz and all the people that have been doing this to score before all of these people. Jazz is the true meaning of individual expression. It's just not popular music. So it takes somebody getting this secondhand and realizing it, and already being part of a big record company, you know, for the rest of the people to see. But this stuff has always been happening. People like Franz Liszt and what have you, Stravinsky, been doing it before jazz. You know, it's always been pure art. Just amongst the popular, amongst the majority, they don't know what that means. Are you rolling?
Yeah.
Good.
Tell us about Bob Dylan and the Beatles.
Well, Bob Dylan got the Beatles high. I don't know how much there is to say.
They get high with a little help from their friends.
They did. I don't know how much there is to say about Bob Dylan and the Beatles. That's the thing that everybody knows about them, or at least the relationship together. But no, I mean, Bob Dylan was just as instrumental of a figure as those guys, because I think he helped make people realize that you can be loose, you can get loose, and that'll help you say what you have to say. Bob Dylan can sing. He's a good singer, but he doesn't give a fucking shit about that.
He's got all these words, man. He just wants to get them out.
Right. It's all like you were saying. I got it sliding all up and down between the notes and everything. It's good, you know. It's he's getting his point across. He's not being so uptight about it, you know. If he was so rigid with it, then you wouldn't take him so seriously. Because he goes off like a little jester clown, you know. He's got his silly band in the back and he's saying all this wackadoo, you know. And I think it was designed to turn off the older folks.
A lot of surrealism in his lyrics.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stories that you could follow and you could identify with all the scenery and the characters he was talking about, but none of it felt like it quite fit in reality.
Yeah. He was talking about everything and nothing at the same time.
Rambling on.
But it was for the people of his generation, you know, who were looking for something different, looking for something real. And here was this guy. It's an abrasive sound. He's an abrasive voice, and the band is, you know...
They were enough to hold him up.
They were good. Well, they were good, but it was a strange sound. and it was to turn off the people that came before him, and for the people who would care to listen, to move aside all this circus music that was happening and really get in to what he was saying. And this is it. You can hear in Blonde on Blonde the exact moment of the crushing wave of the counterculture movement. You can hear it in that record. And it was almost effortless.
Now, how do you think it potentially influenced Sgt. Pepper's or the Smile Sessions?
Well,
because it was very much going against what the quote-unquote culture was. It was somewhat within the hippie movement, so psychedelics were really blowing up, but the man was very much against it.
Yeah, well, they weren't worried about the man, you know? And, I mean, to the extent, I know that the Beatles were very much fans of Bob Dylan. And, you know, it's like everybody can tell you, oh, Bob Dylan got the Beatles high, you know? But I think that was a crucial step in their development, because to think they were just fairly straight kids at the time, still making this great music. They had the power the whole time, and they were using it to their best ability. You know, but I'll say they weren't completely straight. You know, everyone was on speed back then, but that's just what you did to keep you going.
It's like caffeine.
Yeah, but no, it's like Rubber Soul. That's a stoner record, and you can hear it. You know,
and you can see it in the album art too.
Absolutely, because it was that was a mistake. The album cover, because they had the picture, and when they had it on the projector, it got moved a little bit and put it back, and they were like, that's cool. You should use that. So it was a great step into them getting more loose and more open to new ideas, a new headspace, you know. I don't want to glorify drugs, but I think for creative people, for a good chunk of creative people, some people aren't creative people, but having had the same headspace for so long, you know, it's just that, you know, this is me. And then you find something that gives you totally different perspective, but you still go, this is me. And open you up a lot more. And, so I think that was important for creative people like the Beatles. You know, and of course, they were looking for all the other creative outlets from other people at the time. That's why they enjoyed the Beach Boys. They liked the Beach Boys from the start. Just like, you know, this is fun American music. And, you know, it is what helped them be more rock and roll, you know, going out of just being a skiffle band. And, but no, it's good for everybody.
For creativity, it's really a thing of novelty, I think. It's not necessarily that being high makes you more creative. It's that having to confront yourself in a different way. I mean, people who are perpetually high, I think that's equivalent to being sober all the time, basically. If you can only confront reality in one state of mind, it limits the ways you can look at things.